So there hasn't been much news about upcoming mafia movies, and that's more or less because the genre is next to dead, really. The 1990s was the peak for Hollywood mafia movies, after a strong 80s and a revolutionary 70s. Goodfellas, Donnie Brasco, Casino, A Bronx Tale, Carlito's Way, you name it. But the turn of the century was not kind to the genre, with just a few mob movies here and there, The Irishman being one of the more notable, made, in a manner of speaking, as a curtain closer for the genre, made by arguably the genre's best director, Martin Scorsese, and starring heavyweights of the genre, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci and Harvey Keitel, all in the same film for the first time. Since then, the horizon has been pretty barren, the odd tumbleweed like The Many Saints of Newark rolling past. I have had my eye on one project though, Wise Guys, starring Robert De Niro and directed by Barry Levinson, who made some pretty good movies back in the day like Rain Man and Wag the Dog. That combo would be quite the pairing in the 1990s, as would the story. The true story of gangsters Vito Genovese and Frank Costello as they battle for control of their crime family in the underworld. And of course, as others who have been following the project will know, the movie's main gimmick is that De Niro is bizarrely playing both roles. Yep, it is confirmed by De Niro himself even, as I mentioned in a previous video. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't even know what the point is. I mean, isn't it a perfect opportunity to have De Niro square off against another classic mob movie actor like Al Pacino? Why have De Niro play both roles, and how would that even work? By the way, speaking of Levinson and Pacino, some more gangster movie news for you. David Mamet was set to direct a JFK assassination thriller starring Pacino, but has since dropped out and the project has been taken over by Levinson. Pacino is set to play Chicago outfit mobster Tony Accardo. Anyway, first news regarding Wise Guys is that it's no longer called Wise Guys, it's now Alto Knights. I've no idea what that means, and really it reminds me of a theme park we have here in the UK called Alton Towers. Wise Guys was such a better name. I don't know if it's a copyright thing, I know the name is more generic, and there was a Brian De Palma film back in the 80s with that name, but come on, Alto Knights? What does that even mean? The film has a decent budget of around $50 million, and Nicholas Pileggi, writer of Goodfellas and Casino, wrote the script, and the movie has screened. According to a report I've read from World of Real, the overall consensus was positive. One reaction said, and I quote, "Levinson's film is old-school storytelling about the heated rivalry between two friends. When one of them gains all the power the other built up and returns after being in hiding, he wants more than just a slice. The crime elements here are familiar, but Levinson doesn't mind treading familiar ground if he can give the audience a gripping story about the pull of power and how violence can easily get out of control. It's not just the violence. Levinson tackles lengthy court hearings and heated conversations between the two, both of whom are played by Robert De Niro with magnetic conviction. This is a mob story, but it's a fascinating drama first." I mean, I don't know about you, but that sounds more like PR than a genuine, honest reaction. But it does sound good. However, the same site posted another review, and this one wasn't so kind to the film. I was at the Alto Knights test screening last Wednesday at the Regal Paseo as well. I had a completely different takeaway. One of the worst films I had ever seen tested, and a huge letdown given the pedigree. De Niro plays the dual roles to almost no end, and it results in a movie where the two main characters can only interact while sitting perfectly still across from one another, on opposite ends of a table. The entire story hinges on the dissolution of a lifelong friendship between two mobsters and the eventual betrayal in the form of an assassination attempt. But it takes no time to explore the foundation of that friendship before the feud is already underway. There are a handful of really outstanding sequences, but between the dull and obliging wife character, they stick Deborah Messing in, and some really choppy filmmaking, it doesn't amount to any more than the sum of its parts. It looks like there's 10 months to fix things up, but I can't see a path to salvaging this without at least some reshoots. I don't know about you, but I'm more inclined to believe the second review than I am the first. What do you think about this project? Are you looking forward to the film? And what do you think of Robert De Niro playing both roles? Let me know in the comments section down below. Subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.